Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your week ahead tarot. Thank you so much for being here. So your key to the week this week is the Fool card. New things, new places, new people, new energies are making themselves available to you. But more importantly, you are putting yourself out there. Remember, the Fool card is basically saying to you, this is a week for you to jump in, right? So whatever it is that is asked of you, whatever the invite is, whatever the offer or the opportunity that shows up, the Fool card is basically saying jump in. Unless it obviously, use your own discernment, make wise choices, but right, this is a week for you to get stuck in with it. The other thing with the Fool card, remember, this is basically a cosmic reset. So in some way, shape or form, you are starting over, or you are doing things anew over the course of this week in all of these different areas of your life. The other thing that I want to say to you with the Fool card, this might be a week where you're having to turn how you usually do something or how you usually approach something on its head. This is a time, remember with the Fool card, because remember in the old court, the jester, was basically like the king. Why? Because this was somebody that was able to mock the king without having their head cut off. And so there's something about this that suggests a little bit of a role reversal could be possible this week, or needing to step out of your usual way of doing things and stepping into something new. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So your jumping card and your first card out is the Six of Cups coupled with the Fool. So it's interesting because you've got this card which represents leaping into the future, with this card that actually represents your past. And because your actions and options is about what you do, this could literally be, for some of you, you're treading memory lane, but maybe you are going there for new reasons. So as an example, let's say you're going to, what's a good example? Let's say you go to your old workplace for a new reason. All right, let's say you meet up with an old friend for something that you're going to do together for the future. So it's like you're getting this blending of your past and your present that's taking place at the moment. And this is a way that you're forging ahead with some of your plans, some of your new ways of getting things out into the world. The other thing with the Six of Cups, it can be about siblings. So for a select few of you this week, maybe you're getting a new sibling. For others, maybe you are making more time to connect with the siblings that you have. Especially if you've had situations where maybe you've got like half brothers and sisters and stuff like that. Like, this might be a week. I wouldn't even be surprised as well, especially because obviously this week we've got the eclipse. And even though, especially if you're an ascendant Sagittarius, this is in your 12th house, which can be the past, things that are hidden from you that you don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you discover that you have a sibling that you didn't know about, that you knew nothing about. Just off the combination alone. And then when I thought about it, I was like, okay, then there's the eclipse as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if this happens for some of you. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Four of Swords. So you got this with the Fool card. When it comes to communication, this week, it's probably going to be a bit slower than you would like it to be. That's actually a good thing because it gives you time to process stuff. You've got this though with the Fool card, and I got to be honest with you, I kind of get the feeling that some of you are going to try to take your foot off the pedal this week. It's not that moment, okay? You're going to have your time to rest, but it ain't right now. All jokes aside, this is not a week to take your foot off the pedal. This is a week for you to lean in, all right? Not get crazy and work yourself to the bone or burn yourself out, but this is, if you've got plenty left in the tank and you're just kind of fannying about, this is not the week for it, all right? Stay focused. When it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this would be I don't know if this is half term. I don't know if I know as a uni student you do have some time off, but I don't know if it's the whole same structure or whatever. What I will say to you though, this week it does look like a reset or a recalibration around your old ideals is probably what's coming up. So it's like maybe you're looking at the course that you're studying like, yeah, I was going to do this with it. And, you know, it's like you're seeing where your idealism has maybe run away with itself, and you're paying attention to that. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, it looks like there's going to be a bit of a freeze on this. Like whatever's going on with wherever you work, maybe like, especially if you work like on an hourly rate or whatever, this could be where maybe the work dries up or it kind of eases up in some way. I would also say that whatever plans you have to change or adapt that don't seem to be going ahead in the way that you envision. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, or people that work for themselves, there's honestly a really strong pull here towards kind of the reason I say this is I kind of get the feeling that some of you have already done something new, or you're trying something new, and it's like, because it's maybe not getting the traction that you want, you're like, well, you know, now I need to throw something else in. Just wait. All right, like this is one of those times where it's like you don't, like, you know, launch something else within the space of a week of launching something previous. Like, give it some space, let it percolate, let it do its thing. When it comes to those of you that are retired and no longer working, this could literally be spending time with or vacationing with siblings or people that are, you know, close to you as, you know, we've all got a brother from another mother and a sister from another mister. For your love and relations, you've got the 8 of Pentacles. You got this with the Fool card. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, your partner looks like they're getting a new job. If they work for themselves, maybe they're getting a new client. This is going to take a lot of their time and focus, but there's a delay here somewhere. It's like it was meant to start recently, but for some reason it's not going ahead. So it might be, especially if you already work from home, you're like, okay, you were supposed to not be here and now you're under my feet. What's going on? There's just a slight delay. It's not a big issue, all right? When it comes to those of you that are partnered though, when it comes to the relationship itself, this week you are opening up a dialogue, but it's a very slow one. Keep that in mind. When it comes to those of you that are single and looking, it's going to be someone from your past, but it's someone from your past that you haven't seen in a very long time. And so when you see them, you're kind of going to be a bit like, no way, like you know, and they will probably be the same. There's something here where you look both look, or your outlooks are vastly different to how they were. And I kind of get the feeling that this person is likely somebody that, you know, maybe you split, or you didn't split, but you went your separate ways because your ideologies or your ideals weren't quite aligned or didn't match up in some way. And this week it's like you bump into each other, you have that conversation, and you're like, wow, like that's a full 180 for you, and maybe they feel the same. There's something here where you're reconnecting, but this time it's very different. For your money and materials, you have the 7 of Swords. No financial commitments to be made this week, all right? When it comes to finances, money and resources, this is not a week to get into it. The 4 of Swords is telling you to wait. The 7 of Swords is saying when it comes to finances, you don't have all the facts. This is not the right time, especially because we're now not only at the beginning of the week, we've got the eclipse. And as we get into the end of the week, we're at what I affectionately call the midpoint between the magic and the madness. I've been using that phrase. I mean, I've put the first one of those out in 2016. So, you know, a long time I've been talking about that, but that midpoint it's not the space to be getting wild with it. When it comes to those of when it comes to your physical health and vitality, the 7 of Swords is your nervous system. I'm not a doctor, can't give you medical advice, but I would say this would be a really good week to find some way to rest. Yes, don't take your foot off the pedal. So when you're working, work. When you're resting, rest. Let there be a clear delineation between the two. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, I've got to be honest, I don't like this because of the Fool and the 7 of Swords. It almost suggests like, you know, this is you leave your bike out and a bunch of teenagers steals it. This is, oh gosh, you know, It's an opportunist thief. It's not like somebody that's sat there scoping your house out waiting for you to go out to rob you. It's you leave something in the wrong place at the wrong moment and it disappears. All right, and it's likely to be the full Seven of Swords. It's likely to be like a teenager, because there's a lot of the youth in these cards for various reasons that I won't go into at the moment, but it feels like that. It's like you potentially lose something because of an opportunity that you haphazardly do something and it's like, well, that was silly. You leave your purse or your wallet on the side in a coffee place, with a big fat wad of cash showing, and somebody walks past while you're digging around in your bag and they swipe it from your thing and they're gone before you even know it. It's something like that. Don't leave yourself open to the silly stuff this week. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. There is some pockets of goodness here, so it's not all doom and gloom, all right? Take care, and I'll see you soon.